Hello and welcome to today's Facebook Live with Holly Ridge Center. Today our format is going to be slightly different. We're going to stream a couple of videos for you, but be sure to leave comments and questions down below because we are here and we'll be answering your questions in the chat. Today we'd like to share a little bit about our Adult Employment Services program. At Holly Ridge Center, our Adult Employment Services Department provides supported employment. So what is supported employment? Supported employment describes services provided for individuals with disabilities to help them prepare for, obtain, and maintain employment in the community. This service model includes a variety of activities that start with getting to know our clients, their interests, their skills and talents, and building their skills to support their success in the workplace. Our employment consultants assist with identifying jobs for our clients to apply for, as well as assisting with submitting applications, building resumes, and providing interview support. Once our client has landed their dream job, our support continues with their job coach on-site for one-on-one job training. On-site supports are tailored to the individual needs of each of our clients. That can look like support during training and stabilization of their new position, followed by a fade out, or it can look like ongoing in-person support long-term. In either case, these services are provided to the individual at no cost to the business that is employing our client. Now let's talk about just a few of the benefits of supported employment. So some benefits for our clients are that it provides an opportunity for independence and access to fully participate in the community. They earn a competitive wage, build relationships with their coworkers, and contribute to the mission of the business they choose to work for. Some benefits to our employers include gaining staff that are reliable, have unique skills and abilities, and that they get to utilize the expertise of job coaches to incorporate simple accommodations that, frankly, can be helpful to many in their workforce. They gain a diversified workplace, and statistics show that this model promotes a more positive company culture. So with this in mind, let's remember that our communities are richer when everyone participates and we can utilize all of our unique contributions. So if you'd like to know more about our Adult Employment Services program, you can check out our website at hollyridge.org or give us a call at 360-373-2536. Up next, we're excited to share with you a conversation between Christine, the General Manager of Marshall Suites in Bainbridge Island, and Samantha, an employment consultant here at Holly Ridge Center. You're going to hear Christine's experience in supported employment and what that has looked like in her business. And you're going to also hear a little bit about the journey of Emma, the supported employee that is currently working at Marshall Suites with Christine. So please enjoy. We're excited to share this with you.
Hi, I'm Samantha Shear with Holly Ridge Center, where we help adults and children with all abilities reach their bright futures. And I'm here today with Miss Christine. She is the General Manager of Marshall Suites here on Bainbridge Island. And Christine recently hired one of our clients from our Adult Employment Services program, Miss Emma, just a few days before Christmas.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and so I'm curious, how has the experience been for you with having Emma on your team?
Well, she is a remarkable young lady. She just celebrated her 20th birthday, and she is smart, courageous, very passionate about what she does. She wants it to be perfect. She's a hard worker. She's very reliable and extremely consistent. That's the beauty of hiring people with the special gifts that Emma has. Their consistency is remarkable. It's well above the norm. And so once you train and you coach and you test, your product quality is so consistent because she's consistent. So she's just been a real joy to add to our team.
I love that. That's perfect. So was I'm curious though, was there anything that you were concerned about when hiring somebody who was what we would say is neurodiverse? So somebody who is not necessarily neurotypical. What did you have any fears or objections about that?
Well, I've been pretty blessed in my lifetime. So I actually hired my first team member when I was managing a hotel in Spokane, Washington. And I happened to sit next to a lady with a program similar to yours at a Chamber of Commerce luncheon. And she began to talk about what she does and the challenge she was having finding employers who would take these remarkable people and put them in their business as a team member. And so I just said, well, I have to know more about that. I have to understand that better, because it doesn't make sense to me that if someone has been trained in how to behave in a business setting, comes with a coach, which none of my other employees do, and is devoted to them being successful along with the employer, that is a win-win in my mind. So she was kind enough to bring me in and coach me and teach me and educate me. And so I had two wonderful employees, very much like Emma, for a very long time when I managed hotels in Spokane. To my knowledge, the young lady that we hired to attend our breakfast department, cooking for the guests every day, making sure they're happy, having that interaction with guests so that they want to come back and feel at home in your place of business, she's still there. And that was 19 years ago. So
that's amazing.
Josh worked for me for 9 years in Spokane, and then he got a promotion and went to work for Toys R Us, managing the back end of their warehousing. So
awesome.
I did not have the same fears I probably would have 20 years ago.
Sure.
You're always concerned, I'm always concerned, are we going to be a place where Emma or any other person that would come to work from your organization, how can we help them be successful? How can we make sure that it's a positive experience? How can we build their confidence level? How can we build their skill level? How can we get them ready so that if they decide they want to become, another area of life, a vet tech, a nurse, whatever, that we give them some skills they can take with them. We give them some confidence that they can take with them. Meanwhile, I benefit, the hotel benefits, my business benefits, because you have a very dedicated, passionate, consistent employee. There's no losing in any of this.
That's beautiful. You're so well-spoken, and I can tell that there's a lot of passion behind your involvement in programs like this and in having a diverse workforce. It's very important to you. And I honestly, I just feel very, very grateful to have gotten an opportunity to know you and to learn more about your business, because it's really exemplary to what how other businesses should operate, with open minds and open hearts. And sometimes that can be hard when you have not known somebody or loved somebody that has neuro differences. So that brings me to my next question. How did some of your staff feel about having neurodiverse individuals coming onto your team?
Well, I had a couple of my team members, after I had announced that we were bringing on Emma and two other of her friends that have the same type of disabilities, they all kind of arrived at once. And so I brought the team together and said, we're going to be hiring these young people. These are going to be the changes that we'll have to make to train, because they do take a little longer to train. On the back side of that, you get a much more consistent product, because once they're trained, it's like cement. They never deviate.
Right.
So two of my team members here waited after the meeting and said, we think this is a bad idea. We don't think it's going to work. We think that there are going to be more problems to us because we're going to have to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to what they said, and I said, well, I would like you to trust me. I have had the pleasure of working with folks like this before. I believe that we can have a successful time with these new team members. The other thing is, I'm the boss. And so I appreciate your point of view, and I love you for sharing, but we're going to do this. And what I'd like you to do is keep an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a little chilly around the office for a couple of days, but now they are these wonderful people, these young people that have come to work for us. They are their biggest fans, and they will openly admit they were wrong. And
I love it.
we have one gentleman here. He's kind of he's very smart, but he's a little grumpy now and again. Well, so he kind of watches over Emma, and if anybody gives her a hard time or speaks to her in what he thinks is not a nice tone, he is very protective of her.
Mm.
If she calls on the radio and says, I need help, he's gone. I mean, their whole demeanor about these folks that are now part of us, they're now part of our team. So they don't delineate anymore between that's a person with disabilities and I'm a person with abilities. We're just all ability differently.
Mm-hmm.
And Emma is now one of my very in the housekeeping department. She made it her mission to be the best, and she is.
Yeah, she's always been a go-getter, that Emma.
Yeah. Her parents have done an incredible job with her. They should be very proud.
Mm.
So our next hope is that we'll be able to find the next opportunity for Emma. I would love to keep her here forever, but that would not be fair to her. She's bright. She is dedicated. She's a very hard worker. I've rarely seen young people with this kind of work ethic. And so our job is to equip them and give them confidence and make them believe in themselves. And so they can go on to do whatever their heart's desire is. So we feel pretty blessed. I think we're the ones that got blessed.
I love that. Oh, that makes my heart so happy. It really, really does. What would you say is one of your favorite things that Emma does that almost it sets her apart? What's something that she does that you haven't really seen from others?
Well, I think two things is that Emma, once she grasps the whole idea of being part of a team, she has supported the team, fed the team, encouraged the team. She's the young lady that will come in on somebody's birthday with a birthday card and Hershey's chocolate bar because that's their favorite. Or a card that says, congratulations. We got a young lady here that just got her very first brand new car ever. And so she brought her in a card and a little car and said, happy first car.
Oh my goodness.
Those kinds of moments when people take care of each other as people, not just employees, it builds the team. It builds that sense that we want to help each other. We want to communicate with each other. We want this place to be a nice place to work in terms of the environment. Emma's got an unusually high emotional IQ, and she is kind to people. Even on days when they're not very kind to anybody else, they're kind to Emma. You know what I mean? She just brings out that best in people.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, so as I said, we spent a little extra time with Emma training her, getting her to where the quality standards of the hotel, in terms of cleanliness, in terms of attention to detail, in terms of guest comfort. All those have to be in place before she can sign off on her work. Well, so then she notices other people that aren't doing it right, or have perhaps cut a corner when they shouldn't. And so she has a wonderful supervisor and our director of housekeeping. She will come and tell her, you need to pay attention to that. So-and-so's not doing it the way you taught me how to do it, and I think it's wrong. But the other thing I really love about Emma is if something's broken in the room, in the guest room, or not right, or the curtains are loose, or, you know, anything at all, that it doesn't work, she'll come and get me. Christine.
You're going to know about it.
I want you to know. Well, and part of it is she wants me to know that she didn't leave the room until it was reported, which I appreciate. Part of it is when she signs off on her work, that's her.
Mm-hmm.
She feels very responsible and accountable to the work she does. And so it's kind of raised the standard for everybody else. Because she is mindful of those details that perhaps in another time, in another room with another person, they might not be quite as passionate about the quality of product. So she's had an impact on all of us.
I love that. That's great. What do you think that having Emma here has made any changes to your work culture, morale-wise or personality-wise? Have you seen any differences in your veteran staff since bringing Emma?
Well, I think we all feel like Dutch uncles. We're all just incredibly proud of her, and we want what's best for her. And so I think she's made us try harder because she tries harder. I think we become more passionate because she's passionate. And I think to operate at a lower level is just not doable with her around, you know, because she's up here and she keeps up here, and her determination, her skills, her timing, her attention to detail, and without ever being high-handed about it, she kind of sets the standard. We trained her to a standard, and it is, as I said, it's cement. And so there's no cutting corners, there's no dilly-dallying around, there's no using a different chemical when you're supposed to use this chemical. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's very gracious with our guests. It took a while because she was a little shy, but she's very gracious with them, and she's one of my best people in the housekeeping department. And that's a credit to her. I don't think it's a credit to us. I think it's a credit to her.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. So what would you say to the Emmas of the world, I guess, that are maybe coming out of school or haven't worked before, because we are still in this movement where we're working to normalize inclusion and diversity in the workforce, and for some individuals it might be kind of scary. There might be, you know, some fear of failure, fear that they won't be accepted. What would you say to them?
Well, I know it takes courage to walk in the door. Any candidate from any background with any sets of skills or challenges, it takes courage to walk into a brand new place and present yourself. And I think I would just say, risk it, go for it, try it. Several of the young people that have come here with the challenges that Emma have, they come with their parents. That's fine. If I had invested my whole life in a child like that, I would come too. So I think if you need to bring your mom and dad or your sister or your brother or your teacher or you, then do that, but don't not do it. You can't live your whole life in fear. The other thing is, I think we as human beings always determine that whatever it is, it will be the worst.
Of course. Yeah.
But what if it's better? What if it's better? So I encourage young people that think, oh my gosh, I can't do that because it'll be this and I'm not that. What if it's better? You know, just have faith that particularly now, we are still in a place where it is very difficult as employers running businesses to find high quality help, to find people that care, to find people that are consistent, reliable, on time, want to do a good job, want to learn. We are not in that place where we just have so many candidates out there that we can afford to overlook anybody. So I think that anyone coming out of school in a program like Emma, don't sell yourself short, because the market needs you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that they ever hear that or understand that, but yes, we want to be inclusive of all kinds of people. Yes, we want to have a very diverse employee population. And yes, the marketplace needs everyone. There's no room to cast somebody aside in this day and age, because we have so many people that have made other life choices that choose not to work, or to choose to work differently, or choose to work remotely. You know, the hospitality industry, the restaurant industry, the retail industry, all those service industries are still people to people. We have to have people to take care of people. So I would say we need them. Come on down.
I love it. I love the way that you started that. You said everybody has those feelings of fear. And that's kind of the message that we're trying to get out, is normalizing the togetherness of everybody. Everybody is nervous about these things. Employers take risk when they hire anybody, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a person with a disability. It doesn't matter who comes in your door, you know.
Well, and I think too that, yes, I'm an employer. Yes, I run a business here. I also live here. This is my home. So you have to ask yourself, what kind of a world do you want? You want one where everybody is segregated behind the door like it used to be in the old days because they weren't normal? Or do you want to find out, these people are just awesome. These young people are amazing. So I come at it from a couple of different perspectives, but that's the one that has my heart. I live here. This is my community. So the Emmas that come to us from whatever program in the area, I think we have a responsibility to make it as good as we can. We're not perfect. We don't have all the opportunities in the world, but we can do our part. We can get them ready for their next step. And we benefit in the meantime with incredibly gifted people that work here. They bring who they are, their joy, their hard work, their attention to detail, their concern for the employer's well-being. How many employees do you know are concerned for their employer's well-being? It's broken. My guests won't like it. This doesn't work. I don't want it to be a problem for somebody else. That attitude, how do you not love that attitude? Because employers don't get that from everyone. So I think I would love to have 50 Emmas. I would love to have 100 Emmas if I could. Because yes, it's the quality of the work. Yes, we're trying to make money. Yes, we're trying to build a business. I don't know how you do that without good people. And she's amazing.